We had a nice shoreline eddy caused by this log jam here. We're gonna drift alongside it. At some point I will get stopped at the downstream side of it and really take my time with it. But just for now, I'm working the most active, aggressive place for a fish to be, which is on the current seam. If they're eating on the current seams, you're gonna have a great day. So we got a nice big shoreline eddy here. Looks like a little creek mouth that comes in there. That's pretty shallow back here. What I think I want to do is set up on it and actually stop. I'm gonna drop my anchor down, and what that's going to allow me to do is to know that I am stationary, and when I see a leaf drifting, I can gauge its speed and thus gauge, you know, the speed of the current in the eddy. It's passing through here pretty good, but it is an overall slower area of current, which is really what we're looking for today. So jerkbaits are very much a transitional type of lure. They get us through the time of year where we're transitioning from really through the fall and in the spring. They're also a transition between two different types of anglers. You know, for the most part, anglers either favor being power fishermen, which you can certainly power fish with a jerkbait, or they tend to be finesse fishermen, and you can also do that with the suspending jerkbait. You know, the dead stick presentation is the one that I lean more heavily on, and it's how I just caught that fish. But I don't have to change baits to change from being a finesse fisherman to being a power fisherman and fishing it quick. You can switch back and forth from one to the other with the same bait and, you know, deliver quality presentations either way, same bait. So transition, you know, it transitioned us from winter into spring, and it transitioned us right now from fall into winter. You know, that mid 50s down into, you know, even the you know, the mid 30s. They will bite a jerkbait. So that is my word that I can best describe the jerkbait, is a transitional bait. I've moved up to a nice looking shoreline eddy that swings, the current line swings way out. I'm going to go ahead and drop my anchor down. What that's going to do is allow me to do a better job of gauging the speed of the current in different parts of the eddy by knowing that, hey, I'm stationary, therefore if I see a leaf moving, it's actually moving. What usually happens is if you don't anchor up, if you don't get stationary, you see a leaf moving at the same speed that you're moving, and you assume that it's still. It's a sort of an optical illusion that, you know, that happens because you're traveling at the same speed as the leaf. So getting yourself stationary is critical. The other thing that's important is that I stopped. I didn't wait until I entered the middle of it. I stopped at the back of this eddy, and I'm launching way up into it. All right, this one was pretty much dead center of the eddy, and dead sticking that a really long time is what got this guy to eat. So breaking apart the eddy, you know, bank side, middle, current side, top, middle, bottom. You know, I'll take this knowledge right dead center of the eddy into the next one I get to. And hopefully I can replicate that again. So if you're just catching more leaves than fish, but the bites you're getting are on the bottom, it may be time to switch from this jerkbait to this one. So the bottom presentation, the tail up, nose down, that works with a jerkbait also works with the floating soft plastic Z-Man Elastec on this jig head, this finesse rigging bullets. It goes nose down, tail up, just like you want it to, but it has the benefit of not really not catching all the leaves that we're seeing out here. Let's put it in there and see if we can catch a couple of the you know, the fish in the same profile, the same location, the same presentation really. And I'm adding a little bit of scent to it as the suspending jerkbait laying on bottom. Oh, the answer is yes. It works the same way. Come here, fishy. So they don't really care one way or the other. A baitfish presentation that is nose down, tail up, works either way. So the soft plastic is this bait right here, the scented jerk shad. I was using the color Shiner. I also like the one called Redfish Toad, where you can use pearl. Lots of great colors. This is the 5-inch version. I also use the 4-inch when I feel like they're short hitting, or they're a lot of times they'll hit it and they'll grab the tail, and you'll just feel like you have them on a rubber band. You know, it'll just be stretching and they'll grab that tail and then you won't catch them. The jig head I'm using is the finesse bullets, and this is the 1/15 ounce size. It's the lightest one they make, and it's why it works so well in the middle of these eddies. I don't think it would work as well on the outside edge where the current is really zipping by. You'd have to step up to one of the heavier sizes, and really that's what you're working with. It's got the cone weight at the nose, and then it's got this little tiny little weight that really just functions as a keeper for that super durable, super, you know, tough, buoyant. It actually floats. If I stick this in the water, if I chucked it in the water, it would float and I'd be able to pick it up. So rigging is fairly simple. Just how you would, you know, put any extra wide gap hook on any soft plastic. Oh, it's another good one. Oh, loosen that drag. Keep it away from my anchor line this time. Hello, big fishy. Oh, what a beautiful critter. So Jake and I were just discussing this, that the better eddies that we're finding, and really the better eddies that you find as you move into winter, are big, are deep, and have a rock bottom. There's a lot of eddies that can be from even some fairly large, and I think there was one back there, fairly large log jams. The log jam eddies generally have a muck or mud bottom. It's I'm not saying there aren't fish there, but our better ones are created by rock, by the ledges that this, you know, that are caused by this river cutting through the Appalachian Mountains, that on the downstream side you have a lot of, you know, a lot of depth, a lot of current protection. That's really it, and a hard bottom. So that mountain creates a ledge in that river, and where you have depth and really calm water. We actually have one coming up. This one actually looks promising if it's deep enough. But I can tell from looking at this that this is caused by rock, because it sticks, you know, way out into the river in a linear formation. So this eddy may be promising. We should fish it. Oh, Jake's hooked up. There it is. Nice, man. So what's our consensus? Hard bottom?
Hard bottom.
And
top of the eddy.
Yep.
And they don't want it. They don't want to chase it. They want it on the bottom.
Nice.
All right. So we got a jet out of a rock formation up here that created a big eddy. And these fish, what we've found so far today, is that these fish have been in the tops of the eddies. There has to be rock. Has to be a little bit of depth too, but that's probably a 17-inch fish. Real pretty colors on it, but they definitely don't want to chase it today. They want it on the bottom.
Oh, that's a good fish. You hooked up too, man? Yeah. Loosen the drag. Loosen the drag. All right. All right, both of us hooked up on this same eddy. I'm still loosening the drag. I don't mean to drift into you, man, but I gotta get this fish in. It's a good fish. Dead stick in the jerkbait. Absolutely not moving it in the eddy. Got him. And yeah, he was pretty solidly hooked. Not always the case.
Samesies?
Yeah.
Samesies.
Nice. Doubling up is always fun. So we drifted down quite a bit. It's nice to have the motors to be able to zoom back up there and get right back on the bite as it's happening. So as we move into winter, these fish will condense in certain areas, and they're in areas where they're going to have protection from winter floods and really from ice out floods. And this is the first really big size eddy that's completely still. It has a large area where it's totally still. I can't tell whether that's a creek mouth or not, but this big area with lots of leaves that's just totally still, it could be a wintering hole, which if it is, there's a lot of fish that'll spend the next several months right in this little area. As the river comes up, they will probably tuck up along that bank, and oh, here comes a good fish and a throat call at the same time. All right, I'm gonna decline the call loosen the drag on this fish and see what happens. He's not coming real easy. It's encouraging to see, you know, yeah, that's a big fish. This could be a really amazing winter hole that we just located. Yeah. And yeah, this is the time of year to find these places. This is absolutely the time of year that you want to be out here throwing jerk baits as search baits to locate, you know, where are these aggregations of fish. And this is a really nice fish. This is what jerk baits can do for you, for sure. All right, jerk baiting on the Susquehanna River. We're gonna go ahead and get this nice 19 1/4, 4 pound, 3 ouncer back in the water. Beautiful fish.